Hey, good morning. This is Greg with Liberty Figs and Apiary. It is May 24th, I believe, today. Um, it is in the 70s today, but it is not a sunny day. But it's been over a week since I've been in the hive, so we're going to take a look. We're going to start with the Flex Hive. I did take a peek at the food and noticed that they are not building into the top bar portion right now. So hopefully they will start to transition into that. I know that I disrupted that when I put a medium box on top. But let's see what's going on in there, see how much room they have. Let's take a look. A couple bees trying to make an escape out the back there. All right. And a few bees up here in the top cover. Does look like they're nibbling away at the cake and at this pollen patty, though not much. Watching these bees, they're definitely bringing in pollen all the time. So they're not short of pollen, but they're definitely eating it. All right. So let's take a look. Let's see how they're doing up top here. All right, they are filling this outside with nectar. The inside's got nectar and pollen. A lot of dark pollen. Good looking stuff. Good looking stuff. There we go. All right, this next frame looks like they have been drawing it out, but she's not been up here laying. She's not laid any eggs up here whatsoever. All ready for eggs, but nothing. I wonder why she's not laying up here on that frame. So this frame's got some brood on it. It's hard to tell if there's any eggs. Just a little bit of brood. Let's see if I can get in there with a flashlight and see if they're. I don't see any larvae. I don't see any eggs. All right, so I'll flatten this out, this little wonky spot right here. I'm gonna flatten it out a little bit. Whoops, sorry ladies, didn't mean to do that. All right, this next frame is drawn out nicely, but again, no eggs. She has not been up here. I'm not sure why. She's not moving over in the top bar section, and she's not up here. This has got nectar and pollen. But I wouldn't say that much. Not that much. So far, a little disappointed. This is the swarm hive, though I probably shouldn't be disappointed at anything that I have with this hive because it was a gift from Mother Nature. Let's see what we got going on down here. All right, quite a few bees, and I think you can see there, you can see where they had drawn out the comb when they first got in here. There are certainly a lot of bees. These frames are definitely filled with bees. I have not smoked these ladies at all. So let's just give them a little bit, just to push them down a little bit. I did mark the queen in here, I think, a week or two ago. But I don't think I saw her last week. These frames are good and stuck together. So they're definitely doing good on propolis. Hopefully she's got some brood down here. Oh, that's really tough to get out. Let's J-hook it out. Look out, little girl. There we go. This frame is definitely heavy. All right. Okay, so we got a nice sheet of brood on here. I do see some larvae. Oh, I don't see any eggs. All right. Brood, emerging brood on here. I do see larvae. I don't see any eggs, but it's hard to tell in these frames. All right, let's put this down. All right, that's a beautiful sheet of brood there. That's fabulous looking. Oh, I was smushing a bee. That is fabulous looking. I see larvae, and I think I see eggs in some of the empty ones. This frame looks pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. Look at that side, looks great. I see larvae in the open cells. I see eggs all the way out to the edge. All right, that looks fabulous. All right, this next frame is that medium frame that I left in here because they had gotten eggs on the bottom of it. It doesn't look like they've gotten any further, they've drawn it out any further, but they certainly have brood on it. Again, nice sheet of brood. I don't see any eggs in these empty cells. A little bit of honey up top. This hive is a little devoid of honey. So I do have a jar feeder in there. But not a lot of capped honey. They have nectar, but not a lot of capped honey. But the brood looks good. And I see eggs in there. So she's got this backfilled where they've hatched. And I haven't seen the queen yet. Let's see if we run into her. Let's see if she's going to make herself known. This box is a little tight. But the whole purpose of this box was so that they could go into the top bar. All right, so this is a newly drawn out frame and it is filled with eggs. Actually, it's a little spotty. It's a little spotty of eggs. Not every cell is filled with eggs. This side is loaded with pollen. I mean loaded with pollen. And I don't see a lot of bee coverage on this, so I'm wondering if those eggs are still viable. I don't know. This frame is very heavy, and it is filled with nectar and honey. Okay, and some pollen. All right, we didn't see the queen, but we certainly have evidence that she's in here. So everything looks good. There's actually looks like a carpenter bee or a bumblebee in the bottom that they have killed, but they're still harassing it. but it looks dead. It doesn't look like it's moving. Doesn't look like it's moved in a while. All right, so we can get these guys closed up. Get a little smoke on them, get them out of my way. Look out, ladies, look out. Look out. Yeah, this box is a little tight. A little tight front to back. But it'll be okay. Yep. Sorry, I just squished a bee. Oh, there's the queen. There's the queen. I hate that I put that on the ground. Can you see her? Alex, can you see her? She should be about in the center of the screen there. All right, she's doing a nice job. Let's put her back in there. Let's put her back in there. I'd like for her to lay a little bit more, and I'd like for her to go up, but she'll get up. Unfortunately, it's not in my time, it's in her time. But she's doing good. All right, we'll get her closed up, and we'll see you next at the Resource Hive. This is Greg with Liberty Figs and Apiary. Take care. Bye.